Hi there, welcome to part 3 of the edging and joining of my Midnight Lantern Shawl. If you have watched the first 2 parts, then you would have come to the stage now where you have got 2 edging rounds around your lantern columns or vertical strips. It's difficult to name them. So now we will be joining these vertical strips. So the join I've chosen to use is a zigzag join. I do have a separate tutorial on exactly how to do that with very simple squares, with simple granny squares. So if you're not familiar with the zigzag join, I do recommend you go and just watch that video. Just get yourself a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee and familiarize yourself with that tutorial so that you feel a little bit more confident to tackle this join. This is a little bit trickier because we're dealing with lots of different shapes, dips and dives, and also we are dealing with a lot lacier motif, which can be quite overwhelming at times. The key to remember with this join is that we do want to make sure it lines up. Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment, but anyway, you do want to make sure that it lines up correctly. Each lantern lines up, so the half point of your lantern will be that half point of the join of the 2 lanterns where that treble is. So you will always be starting into that top treble of the V at the top of your lantern over there. Okay, so that zigzag join will start from there into the very first stitch of your lantern that's lying besides it. So if we were to be joining the next round over here, which would be this, we would then start into that very first stitch and link it up to that very first treble on that side of the lantern. So that will link up to that, and that will link up to that, and then this will link up to the 8th chain 2 space on the side of your lantern. So you could go and put stitch markers in all those areas if you feel like you're going to lose track, but I feel like if you just know that you have to start in that first stitch and corresponding with that stitch, everything will be equal all the way as you go along the join. The zigzag join, it'll be a slip stitch into each stitch opposite each other, as well as each chain 2 space opposite each other. So it seems complicated, but honestly, once you get the hang of it, it really isn't. You just have to most likely sit in a quiet place at a table where you can do this join, so it makes it easier. So let me start to show you here. So as per the zigzag join tutorial for the granny square, you always got to make sure that your yarn, the long yarn end, your working yarn, is accessible to you. So it's always available at the top, and you got to place your motifs in the most comfortable position that will work for you. So you've got your slip stitch on your hook, and you will insert your hook into that first treble V stitch like that and slip stitch. Okay, just like that. I don't know if you can see. It's a bit messy in the beginning, but once you get the first 2 zigzag joins in, it's so much easier. Okay, now we are going to zigzag join, slip stitch into that very first stitch of the adjoining lantern. Don't worry about all these funny little ends everywhere. This is why I do advise you sew in your ends, but I am too lazy and I leave it to the last step. Okay, So we have joined those two first stitches. So we will be working in every stitch and chain 2 space while joining. So now we've done, the last join was here on the left side, so we will go into the alternating side, the opposite side, and work into the chain 2 space and slip stitch. Can you see? And we've got another stitch coming up on the left, on this left side, so we slip stitch into that stitch. So you won't be skipping any stitch or any chain 2 space. We've got the next stitch coming up on the right side, so we will slip stitch into that stitch. Okay, and then we've done that stitch, so now we will be going into the chain 2 space. And now we will be going into the next chain 2 space. So you just continue all the way along, not skipping a stitch or a chain 2 space. It's quite difficult to see as I'm using a dark yarn, but I think, see, now I'm able to hold my work a lot easier because I've got a few good amount of stitches joined. I don't know if you can see there, it is so dark. I'll try and brighten up the video. Let me just see if I can put the background just like that. There. I don't know if you can see that little zigzag join. Okay, so now we go into the next chain 2 space and the next stitch on the opposite side, and then the next stitch, the next chain 2 space, and you continue all the way, keeping your tension nice and medium, not too tight, just neat. Gosh, this must be difficult for you to see with this color. Okay, continuing the join. Okay, so now we're getting to that section where we're going to join that little dip of the join to the middle of the lantern over here. I don't know if you can see there. So we've done a zigzag join all the way along here, and now we're getting to this little trickier part. There are no chain 2 gaps between those trebles, so we'll just be working into the stitches of those ones, but we will continue to work into the gaps on the opposite lantern, the chain 2 gaps. So now we're going into that first stitch there, and to the next stitch and into that stitch. I don't know if you can see. And then continue all the way. I know it seems quite tricky, but the end result is really pretty, and it really does add to the flow of the lantern. Oh goodness, I'm struggling with this one. Let me just go in there. There we go. Okay. So it is a bit fiddly, but trust me, it becomes a lot easier as you go along. Oopsie. And you'll carry on. It's quite nice to just, because it's quite a lacy section to join, if you just like stretch it out and then you can see things a lot clearer. So I've already worked into that stitch there, so now if I've stretched it open I can see it's pulling there, so I need to work into the chain 2 space, and there I've worked into that chain 2 space. Now I need to work into the stitch. I hope you are able to see this. I'll try and fiddle with the settings of the contrast and brightness to make it easier to view. But if you just keep following along the zigzags join of each stitch and each chain 2 space, you'll get it. Okay, so now we're getting to the end of this column where this one carries on. We're going to keep working right until we get to that first treble of the V stitch at the bottom of that tip. Okay, so there we go. Stitch there, and that's that bit done. We could actually go into that chain 1 space as well. I think that's what I did do. Sorry. So we'll end off into that chain 1 space between the 2 trebles at the tip, and then the corresponding stitch on the other side of the on the other lantern on the other side. Gosh, it's a lot of tongue twisting instructions. Okay, so I hope that made sense. If not, let me know and I will try and show you but I hope it's quite clear. So if you can see there, it makes a really nice, like a little snake, looks like a little snake's, you know, crawling through in between the lanterns. If you really wanted to, you could use any of your other colors of the lanterns, but I wanted the midnight blue to be the main background color. So I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. You can see there how pretty that zigzag join is all the way, and look how nicely it lines up with the middle. So when we do the next vertical column, if we follow that exact same method by starting in that very first stitch, linking up to the very first treble of that little V stitch at the top, it will all equally join very nicely together and fill in those gaps. And once you've done all the joins, then I will show you how to do the final edging of this beautiful shawl. Thank you for watching. If you are making this shawl, please let me know in the comments, or tag me in on your beautiful makes on Instagram or Facebook, or on Threads. I'd love to see how you get on with this pattern. It looks really complicated. It isn't the easiest of patterns, but it surely is doable if you're a keen beginner that wants to push your boundaries a little bit and try something a little bit more intricate. Please try and give it a go. If you do have any problems, just message me or send me a query on my website. There's a contact form. You can also join my mailing list if you would like, and I will be sure to help you out along the way. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you'd like to know, please just let me know. Okie dokes. Have a lovely day. Chat to you soon. Bye.